At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
This is the sound of your ride home with Dad after he caught you vaping. Awkward, isn't it? Most vapes contain seriously addictive levels of nicotine and disappointment. Know the real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame playing cards with Rita and Carta.
That kind of rhymed, almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, kinda.
Hi.
So, yeah, playing cards. Good times, you know?
Yeah.
Do you play cards a lot?
Not really. Occasionally. Oh, someone actually did show me about a couple months ago. It's called Garbage.
Yeah.
And basically kind of like Go Fish almost, but like a different. It was kind of...
I've heard of that. I've never played it, though. Yeah. When I was a kid, my family always used to play Michigan Rummy. I don't know how to play that or anything, but there's like a board that you play on, and I don't know. It was all set up. Like my mom made a bunch of boards for it, like on, like that you could roll up, like on fabric, and you just unroll them, and
okay,
you can play the game. And I don't know why it's called Michigan Rummy or anything.
Yeah, just like, wait, what?
I don't know. I just know my family always used to play it, and we used to play for like pennies, and I used to win a lot. So when I did play, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that the adults were just letting me win though when I was a kid. So
baby, yeah.
So today on the show, we are covering a 1988 film entitled Purple People Eater. It is a film based on a song, which is a thing, I guess.
Apparently.
Yes. The film was directed and written by Linda Shayne, who was in the band in a previous film we covered, Munchie. And yeah, it stars Ned Beatty as Grandpa, Shelley Winters as Rita, a young Neil Patrick Harris as Billy Johnson, Peggy Lipton as his mom, James Houghton as his dad, John Brumfield as Mr. Noodle, Molly Cheek as Mrs. Orfus, Kimberly McCullough as Donna Orfus. We have a very young Dustin Diamond as Big Z. Shonda Whipple as Allison. Sheb Wooley plays Harvey Kidders. Sheb Wooley was the writer and original performer of the song Purple People Eater. A very, very young Thora Birch as Molly Johnson. We had a cameo by Chubby Checker and Little Richard as the mayor. Yeah, Chubby Checker, who I've met, by the way. But yeah, so yeah, he used to play the Lucas County Fair a lot in Ohio. And when I was a kid, I used to vend the concerts that they had there, and I got to meet Chubby Checker once. So, yeah, he was a lot cooler than I also got to meet Lee Greenwood once, too. So,
oh, God.
Mr. God Bless America Bibles and shit, you know. Yeah.
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 That was before he sold his soul to the devil.
Well, I don't know. He probably did back then because he was like, you know, that was like a big Reagan song too. So it's like, yeah, just depends on what devil you're talking about here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's the reality TV star devil, and then there's the actor devil. So, you know.
That reminded me really quick. So there was a band in the 80s called Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah.
Kind of like a punk metal kind of band. And they had a song from their first album originally called I Shot Reagan.
Oh, wow.
They had to change it to I Shot the Devil, but it was still the same lyrics. And so
was it written before the attempted assassination on him?
I don't think it was. Yeah, it might have been before because
Yeah.
when was the assassination? Was that like 84 or something when the guy tried to assassinate Reagan like that?
Don't remember.
Okay, well maybe my times line up, but I thought the album came out in like 82, so it could have been a couple of years before it actually happened.
Yeah, the Reagan assassination attempt was 81. So yeah.
Okay, so I guess it was after that.
Yeah,
then.
because this
so
was
they, they wrote it.
This was shortly after he took office. Like it was on March 30th of 81. He would have taken office in January of that year.
So he was only president for like 2 months. Oh wow.
Yeah. When
wow.
when somebody thought, hey, the way I can woo Jodie Foster is by killing the president.
Well, that was his cover story. Maybe that was just with Aang.
Yeah. Well, he did write tons of letters to Jodie Foster and was obsessed with her. So,
which is part of his cover story. He had to do stuff like that. Just
yeah.
That's kind of fucked up though, because she's in a movie where a dude is obsessed with her character, and then like a really like mentally unsound guy is obsessed with her character. And then in reality, a mentally unsound guy is obsessed actress that played this. Kind of a weird, that must have been a kind of fucked up early phase of her life. Because at that point, she was only like, what, like late teens? No, Silence of the Lamb come out, 80s? Or
she was she was at least, I think she was an adult by this point. So,
okay.
yeah, still.
Taxi.
Yeah, because Taxi Driver came out in the 70s, so yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure she was an adult at this point. But yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, back to the movie.
Yeah, no, we got sidetracked.
We got sidetracked. So, yes, according to the Internet Movie Database, the synopsis of this film is a kid plays the old novelty song Purple People Eater, and the creature actually appears. The two then proceed to help an elderly couple who are being evicted by their greedy landlord. They're not a couple.
No, that's incorrect right there already.
Yeah,
so
they're friends. And yeah, and not that it matters. I mean, they could be a couple, but in reality, Shelley Winters is like at least 15 years older than Ned Beatty. So normally, normally on the standards, women are usually younger than the man that they're dating. So, yeah.
Yeah, but in that phase of life, it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
75 and 60 matter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's interesting, too, because Shelley Winters played Roseanne's grandmother on the TV show Roseanne, and Ned Beatty played Dan's dad on that show. So
that's kind of...
Yeah. So, what are your initial thoughts here of Purple People Eater?
I don't know, man. It was kind of cool, but it was a little bit weird, and I don't know. It was very, very late 80s film, like a lot of that going on. Could have been a little bit longer, maybe, or the pacing could have been better, but it's a problem in a lot of.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it was a $3 million movie, so yeah. I'm trying to find the box office for it, but I don't know how much it made. I don't think it did too well at the box office. Because I honestly, like in 88, I would have been like 11 when this came out.
Yeah.
And this would be like probably something right up my alley at that time, but I don't even remember this movie.
Yeah, I remember vaguely it being like on like in the background, but like
yeah.
We were never really watching it, because I remember like the weird like musical notes coming out of its whatever it is.
It's horn. Yeah.
Yeah, horn. I remember that kind of stuff. I don't remember anything else like Dustin Diamond.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see a young Neil Patrick Harris. I think this was just prior to Doogie.
I was gonna say, because of Doogie, he looks a little bit older. Here, like by like a year, maybe 5 or 8 or something like that. But yeah, here he's just like a full-on kid. Like I didn't even recognize until you mentioned.
And I think this was just prior to Saved by the Bell as well. So because both of those shows came out in '89, but it may have been Miss Bliss time for Dustin Diamond. So yeah.
Oh, because the original. What's fucked up though? This means then that this movie is probably what launched their career.
Yeah, I mean, well, Neil Patrick Harris did have he was in a movie with Whoopi Goldberg prior to this that kind of launched his career. Like in he was in this movie called Clara's Heart, which was like his big break, starring Whoopi Goldberg, based on a novel of the same name. So that kind of was what put him on the map. So, yeah. But yeah, this was probably his first big, like, leading role, though. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I never thought I'd see a movie with Dustin Diamond and Neil Patrick Harris in it, though. So, kind of weird.
That's like, they're like friends. They're in, like, together. A really cool band. Only had and they're playing hotels now. Anyway.
So,
which I'm not even sure how, like, it will get to that, so.
Yeah, so what goes on in this film here?
So, Billy, he's our main character, played by NPH, or Neil Patrick Harris.
Or if you want to be nasty.
If you want to be nasty, yeah. So, he's got this weird problem where he just randomly, like, rescues animals, and they just, like, decides that they're the pet now, and the mom, like, okay with it, like just allow it. Oh, well, you gotta stop doing this. It's like, or make him stop, like, not accept the animals.
And the mother was played by Peggy Lipton, who is Rashida Jones' mom.
Right.
So yeah, she's sadly passed away. But yeah.
It's weird. This whole movie is just full of people who are either really famous themselves or are, like, related to really famous people.
Yeah, it's like because like Peggy Lipton and like her and then what's his name? Oh my God, I just had his name and I blanked on it now.
Oh, give me a hint.
The guy that wrote the Sanford and Son theme song. Jones. Quincy Jones. There we go.
Oh,
Quincy Jones is Rashida's dad. So yeah. So,
oh right, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just I knew his last name, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I hate it when you just get like that blank spot in your mind all of a sudden. You're just like, you see the guy, you know everything about him, but you're just like, what the fuck is his name? So, yeah.
I gotta start, like, I get that too sometimes. I gotta start taking, like, fish oil or something to, like, remember, like.
Yeah,
or, you know, something like whatever it is that they.
I keep wanting to do that, but then I keep forgetting to do
it. Yeah, exactly. You're like, wait, I was supposed to do something to improve my memory. What was it?
Need
to
take fish oil to remind myself to take fish oil. So yeah,
just write it down, like, in your door.
Yeah,
you know, as you go outside. So just buy fish oil or whatever kind of thing, like the Bento movie where you use letters to himself. But,
I went over to like my nieces and nephew's house, and I grabbed a goldfish out of their little fish tank, and then I just squeezed it and I tried to get the oil out of it. Is that how that worked?
Was that the same fish that the skateboard kid killed when he went into that woman's house? And he put it in the guy's water.
How do you oil a fish?
Yeah, gross. I still hate that scene. Like, how would you not see a fish going down or taste it or feel it anyway?
I know.
Another review we did, Skateboard Kid. Or Rita,
something like that.
And so basically Billy, he's got this problem where, like, sort of mental issue where he just collects animals and, like, makes them their pets. Like, he's got a really annoying goose. I don't know what you call it. Not duck does. Whatever. Make it a really annoying style.
It's Geeson.
It's Geeson. Is that what it is?
It's probably honking. I don't know.
Oh, that's that. Like, is there really a language, Geeson? Like, that's how they communicate with each other.
What language do you speak? Yeah, I speak geese.
I'm very
did you say Greek? No, I said geese. Wait,
I'm very fluent. And okay, sir, this is a Wendy's. You know, like the joke. We don't have any burgers, so
I bought the Rosetta Stone to teach myself geese.
They have a new program. You gotta buy you gotta buy the extra. It's like the $10. It's like we add to like the millions that you'll never have. You're like Matt or Sesame, where you get bored with one, try another one. Now you have birds of, but, like, whatever. And then so.
Can you ask? Can you ask how to go to the bathroom in all these languages?
Only in, like, one. I forgot. I already forgot what it is though. I know in Turkish it's banyo, and I think Spanish so it's similar. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then so anyway, so he's got goose, he's got a dog. Gave the goose to his mom, I guess Umbries. And then so, like, he basically, like, likes animals more than that's kind of like setting up. And this next door,
and he's a dreamer. He's a dreamer. He's not the only one. I hope someday that you'll join us and the world will live as one.
That's what he was thinking when he was jumping on a trip. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. So, like, the beginning of the movie is like all the kids are jumping on trampolines for some reason.
That was the weirdest opening credits I've ever seen in a movie.
What that was even like? Was that even a thing that schools did? It was like, okay, it's the last day of school before summer. Let's get on the trampolines. Like,
it's like I can't decide if that. Or the what was that movie with the girl where she's just tying her shoes at the beginning of the movie?
Oh, that was like 5 minutes long of the shoot.
Yeah.
That was Chick Boxer.
Yeah.
That one was a terrible movie. Chick Boxer on
Yeah.
Tubi, because Tubi is
Has
now...
a lot of great ones. This movie, by the way, folks, if you're looking for it, it's on YouTube for free, and that's the only place I could find it. So
Yeah, some dude who uploads like old movies and stuff. He just has a bunch of...
yeah,
There's a lot of channels like that on YouTube if you know how to look. Like I saw one where it's like a bunch of old Lifetime movies, like 100 of them. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I want to watch. They talk about one of those sometime.
yes,
Because some of those movies were insane. Like there was this one I still remember from like when I was a kid where, because like my dad used to kind of joke, say these are like the man-hating channel. And I was like, really? That can't be right. But then like I ended up seeing this movie that was like so like over the top. Like so basically like the husband is like super like abusive and like but like in weird ways. So like every time his children would like disobey him, he would literally make them build their own coffins, like just like bit by bit. So it's like, okay, now you gotta work on this part for a half hour or whatever. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, so what goes on here in this? Then after that, we've got so we've got this kid with a bunch of animals.
Yep.
And yeah, he basically his dad and mom are going out of town, and his older sister is going somewhere too out of town, and so they decide that they need his grandpa to watch him. Okay, here's my thing. I know this is a really weird nitpick here. They make him share a room with his younger sister. Right. So that the grandpa can stay in her room.
Right. But
my thing is, if the parents are out of town, isn't their bed free?
But not only that, also the older sister's bed
But
is
no,
free
the older
as well.
sister shared a bedroom with the little sister.
Oh, okay.
So, but my thing is why couldn't grandpa stay in the parents' bedroom?
It was probably just oversight. They probably...
Because like when my father's gone over to watch the grandkids, he usually just sleeps in my sister's bedroom, you know, so it's just, yeah. So just saying.
It's probably an oversight. They were too focused on the really good purple costume creature. Spent all that money. No, so there's like this weird scene though that I can't get over. I don't know if you can help me out with it. So
yeah, sure.
He's feeding the dog or whatever pet he's got outside. I don't know, a wolf or a tiger, who knows what he's got in his backyard now. And his next door neighbor, it's like this really nosy woman.
Yeah.
And she says, Billy, it's not healthy to talk animals as if they are real. What does that even mean? Like, does she think they're imaginary? Like,
I just like, I like his response to that though. It's just like, they are real.
I mean, it's just obvious fact. It's not even like a subjective opinion. Like,
it's not like he's talking to stuffed animals.
I mean, my only way of defending her is that maybe she meant like they're not like humans, but they're not real. Like, you know.
And another interesting fact here, that's Mrs. Orfus, and she's played by Molly Cheek, who plays Jim's mom in the American Pie movies.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I can see that now. Like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And her daughter kind of like knows Mike is, and
she like has a crush on Billy. And she's played by Kimberly McCullough, who is best known as Robin Scorpio on General Hospital on and off for like 30 years, and also best known as being my earliest crush on a celebrity ever.
Best known, like that's
yes,
like
everybody knows that. It's just it's a universally known fact. You know, I mean, you know, the next time that they're doing a presidential debate, that's going to be one of the questions.
Yeah, you know, yeah, of course. Sorry, I got sidetracked for this. I don't know why my mind is crazy today. But there is a scene at the mall. You could know how old this movie is by the fact that they have an orange Julius inside the mall.
They'll still exist.
Yeah, I know, but they're not nearly as popular as
right? What happened? It's an individual Orange Julius, because most of the time Orange Juliuses are now co-branded with Dairy Queen because they're owned by the same company now. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to love Orange Julius when I was a kid. That just reminds. Anytime I hear Orange Julius, it just reminds me of going to the Northtown Mall when I was a kid. And I'd go to Orange Julius or Chick-fil-A before I realized that they were, homophobic, and before I even knew what the word homophobic meant. And so
right.
Yeah.
That is a cool store though. I remember I remember that really good drink. And then
I go over to B. Dalton bookstore and then Spencer's Gifts and stuff. Oh, good times.
I miss old malls, like not current malls, like
Yeah.
old style malls.
Oh, I know.
They were more cozy.
Yeah.
They weren't like, I mean, yeah, they were busy and stuff. I don't know. It was like new, like I don't know, maybe it's like I remember like feeling like comfortable in malls. Now every time I go into a mall, I usually go into a movie theater. I just want to get there as quickly as possible. Like don't even want to like
Yeah.
walk around. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
It
it's whatever.
I don't know. I mean, it might be, but it's like I live in a town where there's like a really small mall that's reminds me of the old malls, but it's like it's dead all the time though. So
Probably two stores or whatever.
yeah.
Actually, someone made a video, a YouTube video where they went to like a dead mall in Findlay or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably our
recently.
mall. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We only have one mall, so
Oh, right, yeah, because Findlay's kind of a small town.
yeah.
Anyway,
they just the mall was bought recently, so it's supposed to be getting like kind of a facelift and stuff like that too soon. So hopefully it's good. I don't know.
Maybe that will, yeah, that freaking quiche. So anyway, they go to pick up Grandpa in his little house or condo, whatever it is, and like weird. I don't know, like weird, but like not in like a bad way. And like so they're like, okay, you got everything packed? He's like, oh yeah, I got packed things for like a week, and it's like a week, I think, on like all summer probably. Like, and you know, so it's like okay, and then he says you got this really piece of shit landlord that you already know from the beginning is going to become like the main villain of the movie.
Yeah, and his name is Mr. Noodle. That's like what the
fuck? Yeah, no, Mr. Noodle. And like he's like so patronizing to like the elderly people who live there. He's like, no, you know, just because not here, you still have to pay rent. It's like, yeah, like who doesn't think that? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, oh well, I wasn't here for 3 weeks, so technically, you know, I wasn't like doing anything for 3 weeks, so I only owe 1 week's of rent. So it's like, what are you talking about?
I went to Florida for a week, so I don't have to pay rent that week, right? No.
It's like nobody thinks that, dude.
No.
Maybe like if you're like emancipating yourself from your parents, this is your first apartment, maybe you would think that, but like nobody like in their 60s still thinks that.
Yeah.
But that's just like an indication of this guy, because he just becomes heartless, you know, capitalism shit, what he is. And
Donald Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump and the old people are like the proletariat. They're just waiting for one more spark to make the revolution, light the fire of the coming revolution. That one little extra bit of humiliation that for some is the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's why we need rent caps and stuff like that on housing and better better programs to take care of elderly and underprivileged people in this country and things of that nature. Which think of that this November. That's all I'm saying. Not telling you who to vote for, because I don't know who I'm voting for yet, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, vote purple for the
vote purple.
People leader.
Purple just means you're going to vote like half Republican, half Democrat.
Wait, I was going to say, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, sorry. So I know I've been going. So basically, Billy's outside one night. His grandpa.
So if I voted purple, would that mean like if I voted for like Kamala Harris is the president and JD Vance is the vice president?
I think it works that way. I think you can do that. Not in Ohio, because it's not an open primary or open.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I would ever do that. Period. But still, I'm just saying.
It would be such a contradictory thing to do too. Like, wait, what? I like it though when like open primary states, they're kind of dangerous if you think about it, because it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, it's not stopping anyone from like voting for the wrong party on purpose just to like fuck things up. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, so it's like, like sabotage.
I've registered as a party sometimes just because I don't want somebody to win.
Right. It's a whole
like I voted in a primary, like where because I normally don't vote in primaries because I don't want to be registered as anything, but I will freely admit that I've registered like as a Democrat or a Republican in the past because of the two people running. I thought that one of them shouldn't get elected. So so I don't know if that's like, any better. But,
I should like start doing anyway. Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting so off topic here, but so basically, Billy, he's outside after hard days of work of painting with his grandfather for some reason, and then listening to his old records that his son had got. One of them, I think, was the Purple People Eater, and went on replay. And for some reason, I guess listening to that song manifested this purple creature. I guess I don't really know how, but okay.
Well, that's how music works.
Yeah, I wish.
I played Hot for Teacher once, and all of a sudden, one of the attractive teachers I had appeared in my living room.
I mean, if only. Like, like I was listening to Jennifer Lopez the other day, and she didn't show up, so I was like, oh, no. It's like, damn it. Then I tried listening to Heart. None of the Heart girls showed up. Christina Aguilera obviously was a no-show. That goes without saying. But
no, none of them showed up.
And she's supposed to be a genie in the bottle, and she didn't even show up. So it's like, that's going against her role in this.
You just didn't rub her the right way, man.
Yeah, that's definitely not a euphemism.
So Billy here.
Yeah, exactly.
The purple people eater comes down, and he's like in a tree, and like Billy's like whistling, and this creature starts playing music through his horn and everything. And okay, here's the thing. Why is it in these movies that nobody seems to react to the fact that there's a fucking alien?
No, I know. That's what I said, too. It's like, how many... There was another movie that we watched. I forgot what it was.
Munchie's like that, too, to a point. The kid's just like, oh, hey, there's a fucking alien. It's like, I mean, and like Mac and Me. Yeah.
That's the one where they're just like, oh, and what was the other one, too, where they just readily accept... Oh, yeah. The Flight of the Navigator, where, like the kid was missing for 8 years and he hasn't aged, and they're just like, oh yeah, that I believe that. It's like, wait, why do you believe that? Like,
or Skateboard Kid, where it's just like, oh yeah, I have a talking fucking skateboard. Like, what?
Yeah, like everyone just accepts it. Like even like the kids who are bullies, like they wanted to skateboard for themselves. But I'm like, if I saw a talking skateboard flying around, I would probably like scream and like run the other way. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, I want that thing for myself. Like,
I mean, the thing is they were playing up the fact that, but my main thing is, okay, first off, Billy seeing this creature just doesn't care that it's like a type of creature that no one on planet Earth has ever seen before.
Both nothing, like no creature on Earth, like completely its own thing.
I mean, I would react even if it was a creature I have seen before. Like all of a sudden, like there was a lion.
Oh, yeah, exactly. There's a lion that shows up.
Yeah.
Oh,
or a bear, or even like I freak out when I see a fucking possum. I mean, I'm just saying, it's just like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. It's just so it's so weird too, because like, none of these people have any sense of like self-preservation. Like they're just like, oh, sure. I'm like, he doesn't know what this thing is. This thing could be, even if this thing is nice, it could be like poisonous to touch, for the humans. You know what I mean? There's no
I think movies like this and E.T. have ruined people. We need to watch more movies like Independence Day and realize that the aliens are going to come and they're going to be fucking evil. Oh wait, I'm just...
Yeah, they're too nice in these movies. We gotta be prejudiced that they're all. But at least the E.T. though, the kid was freaked out at first.
Yeah,
it took him a while used to it. And that brings me to another point. The point is that they didn't even address this point in the entire movie ever.
No,
is that E.T. wants to go home. In this movie, he just shows up, and he mentions his parents once, but never says anything about them. That he's trying to get back to them, or they're looking at him. He just now lives on Earth, apparently.
So like, as an actor, all the time, whenever you're playing a role, you have to have an objective, and something that you're trying to do, like a mission, basically. Like, even if it's like your only mission in a scene is, I'm going into the room to get a soda out of the soda machine. That's your mission. There is no mission for this character at first. It's like,
no, and it's like he acquires a mission later on, but that's not why he appeared. Like that's what gets me. Yeah, it's like why? Okay, we know how. So again, there's the how, but then there's the why. So we know the how. The how is for some reason playing that song summoned the creature, which is weird because it didn't summon it when Billy's father was listening to the record through his whole childhood. But now, for some reason,
unless we don't know about this, and there's going to be a prequel later all about Billy.
Billy's father confides, like, I had this exact same experience, but it was a different time. People wouldn't understand like they do now because now
I want to see. I want to see a sequel of Neil Patrick Harris now, like just.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like that would actually be really cool. Like purple is now like a rock. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then and so like these music notes come out too of his horn as well to like symbolize that he can like own, I guess. Like you could already tell that. So you need musical notes to show up. Oh, that's what tone deaf watches the movie, know what he's doing. And so Billy does, a few notes here and there to prove that purple or whatever. Then immediately his grandfather just he takes him to the mall. And so I'm thinking, because the movie's called Purple People Eater, right? And so I'm thinking, is this creature gonna start eating people? Because that would be kind of crazy. And so there's a scene at the mall, and that's the reason why I brought up Orange Julius, because there was Orange Julius in the back they were at, and they were, I don't know, doing something. And then Billy's grandfather just up and disappears within a millisecond. And I'm like, holy shit, did Purple just eat his granddad? Grandfather? And then and he's looking all over him. I'm like, holy shit, this totally changes the tone of this film.
This G or PG rated movie just all of a sudden takes a turn.
Well, because you see him walk out of the shot in a millisecond, like he's there and then he's gone type of thing. And so I'm like, okay, what the fuck's happening? But then he's upstairs and he's like, Billy, come on. It's just why couldn't you grab your grandson's hand and then motioned him to walk in the same direction as you? You just go and just leave him. And then you walk up some stairs, and then you call out to him.
Yeah.
Who does that? That makes no sense at all. But Billy's grandfather, like I said, is an established oddball character.
Yeah.
And the reason why, one of the many reasons why, is that when he first learned about Purple, again, he just immediately accepts him as a normal thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. And he knows he can play music, so then he gets the idea, oh, I can exploit my grandson and his new friend to play in a band, so that I can raise money, I guess, to pay off the landlord. I don't know. So it's so now you're doing child labor and I guess alien labor as well.
See, I don't know if that was his intention or if he was just hoping to, find something for his. He said you should start a band because I think his concern was that Billy was just kind of a dreamer who was spending too much time inside by himself and taking care of the animals and not hanging out with real people.
Right.
But
because God forbid someone become a veterinarian when they grow up, or an animal sanctuary. God forbid, God damn you for liking animals and spending time with them. This might be your lifelong dream and talent, but you're doing something that I don't think is normal. So
yeah,
get cracking or whatever. I so stupid.
I do have a question here though. I always wondered with the song Purple People Eater. So obviously we learned he's purple, so he's a purple people eater. But when I heard the song, when I first heard it, I was not sure if that it meant he ate purple people.
Yeah, that was always an issue. Yeah, I always think I thought too that they were.
So I was never worried about him eating me because I'm not purple.
But now he's the one who's purple. So now you're well, maybe he'll try to eat.
I mean, maybe there was a post credit scene we didn't see where he just turns and he eats the whole town.
Exactly. He just gets super aggressive and angry and. I mean, he eats the landlord first, obviously. No, he puts him for last, actually.
Yeah.
And then so he can eat all the carnage that caused by his...
He eats Mayor Little Richard first, and then...
That's such a weird...
Yeah.
And it was a young, youngish kind of Little Richard, too. Probably 40s, maybe 50s at the time, early 50s.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up to realize that I'm probably 15 years older than Chuck Berry was when he was first becoming a rock star.
Or probably even older than that.
He might have been in his early 20s, at the time. And I don't know. It's just and he looked, but that's the thing. So some of the people think Purple, Billy,
but Chuck Berry, or do you mean Chubby Checker?
Well, no, I know Chuck Berry wasn't in the movie. I was just using it as
him as an example. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. Have done Chubby Checker because he was also a camp. No, but some of the people think that he's just a kid in a costume, but other people just realize he's so I don't really know what causes one group to realize he's an alien. The other people would think he's just wearing a costume.
Yeah, it's I don't understand it, but I mean, at first I think that Grandpa thought he was just a kid in a costume, but I'm thinking eventually he realized, wait, he's not a kid in a costume, he's an alien.
I mean, at some point, if he never takes it off ever, I mean, come on. He's just going to stay in that costume all day long. Come on, no one does that, especially, but he could eat, though, too. It's most people can't eat through a costume unless they have
I'm totally convinced that the San Diego chicken always looks like that. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Or Big Bird, or the Philly Fanatic, or somebody,
Or Big Bird, or what I used to call him was giant flying creature, something like that. for a mock-off accessory.
Yeah. So
yeah, this is such a weird movie. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So what else goes on here? We've got basically, I mean, the plot doesn't really have a lot going on per se. They audition people for the band. They find people in the band. The drummer, who is played by Lindsay Price, who later was on How I Met Your Mother featuring Neil Patrick Harris. So which is interesting. And another person I had a crush on a lot is when she was younger. So and I was younger. Not younger, just making sure I'm not a pedophile. So
what the hell? Random.
I know. I just realized how that sounded after I said it. So I was like,
wait a minute.
Just want to make it clear that she's almost a year older than me. So in reality,
yeah, you gotta make that clear now because everybody's like just waiting to like call someone that.
So it was age appropriate for me to have a crush on her at certain times. So I'm just saying when I had the crush on her. So
you're all good. You're all good. I think everyone stands.
Same thing with Kimberly McCullough, who I mentioned earlier. She's like a year younger than me. So it was age appropriate to have a crush.
Right.
The whole thing, it's like so basically what ends up happening is we find out that like this lady Rita, who lives there, played by Shelley Winters, the brilliant Shelley Winters, by the way, you know, one of the greatest actresses of all time. She's like kind of like basically given up because she can't afford all the price hikes in her rent and stuff, and she's basically just wanting to die, you know, in her home before she gets evicted.
Like she's like starving herself essentially.
I mean, this movie is very kind of relevant to a lot of things going on in the world, like still, sadly.
No, they have like a very progressive message, which is like weird to throw that into this kind of movie because it's like
this movie that came out at the end of the Reagan administration, beginning of the Bush senior administration.
Bush one.
Yeah, around there, you know. So it's kind of weird. Oh
God, can you imagine though living in that era when Republicans control the presidency for 12 straight years? like
I lived through it. I lived through it.
I was just saying, like, that's a lot. Like 12 years. So Obama had 8. You know.
Yeah. I lived through it and had a Reagan picture hanging up in my bedroom.
Right.
Oh God.
I had a Jimmy Carter one. Not really. Just kidding.
No, I literally had a Reagan. There were these bags. I still have them. These bags that were given out at this like some presidential rally or something that my parents and I probably went to when I was a kid, and I framed one of them and had it hanging up in my room. Had a picture of Reagan on it and said Reagan Bush on it. Yeah. Oh my God.
Awesome.
I still have those though because I think they're probably worth money, so I'm keeping them.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
So anywho, we've got this, you know, this Mr. Noodle basically noodling his way into the lives of these old people and fucking them over, and they introduce Rita to Purple to try to make her feel better because, you know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you know what, when I'm feeling bad, if I'm just going to tell you this right now, Sesame, if I'm ever really, really sick and old and stuff, and you somehow have a big purple alien as a friend, don't bring him over to make me feel better.
I'll just send him over without any preparing you for what's about to happen. Like they did for like a second, like, okay, just calm down, it's gonna be okay. And then they go immediately to her, and I'm like, you're gonna give this poor lady a heart attack.
I know.
Dude. Like,
that's what I'm like. She's not feeling well. Let's just introduce her to a creature that we've never seen before.
That was literally after she got back home from the hospital. So it's like you already knew that she had a close call, and you're just like, yeah, let's just No, I think was it before or after? I don't remember.
I think it was before because she ended up because it was Purple was there when she got rushed to the hospital. So yeah, no,
it was before, but
yeah.
And then they decide to so they leave him with her, and he's like, oh, we're gonna go for a really long walk, and then he's like, oh, Purple can stay. He doesn't really like to go on walks, and it's like, so you just let this random creature just be alone.
I mean,
with this old...
the scene almost played out like when you're trying to set somebody up with your mom or something, you know?
Yeah, it's
like you know, it's like I'm gonna leave Mr. Purple here, you know, and you know, hey, you guys, you know, get to know each other and see what happens. No, I'm just joking.
I know.
Maybe you'll have little purple babies.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we never even established yet if Purple is even like a sexual being, like what gender Purple is. So
Yeah.
do they spawn? Like, well, he has parents, but they just like spawn like out of eggs.
I mean, and we're just
or
assuming it's a he too, because like we don't know. So yeah,
never. Yeah, they just assumed it was.
We didn't see his purple
male.
junk to know. So wait,
The kids moved. So
I'm
yeah,
just
that's
joking.
It's not like the Ninja Turtles, holiday special where
where we just
you
randomly see a penis. But the
he's riding the bike behind a child. But,
so anyways, back to this movie. So basically, we get she goes to the hospital at some point when she finds out she's going to be evicted, and they're all going to be evicted on Labor Day. And
what a great
like everybody in the place, because Mr. Noodle decides he wants to turn the place into condos and shit. And this is after they like uplifted all the old people by having a party with the young people and getting them all to be happy and shit. And
and all that jazz. No.
Yeah. And so then we end up having an idea where they're gonna do a benefit concert sort of thing to save the seniors, and then Mr. Noodle finds out about this, and he's just like, oh, so pissed and everything. So then he at one point kidnaps Purple, ties him up, and throws him on top of a pool table or something.
That's felony right there, kidnapping of a minor and then also strapping them. So
we don't know how old Purple. So
I got the impression he was probably a kid though. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like you're at that's what I was getting from it. You can't tell again with these creatures because there's no backstory. There's no canon about who these.
We do know that the music is like 25 years behind in his planet because the radio waves don't get up there for 25 years.
That's right. There was a weirdly specific point about that. It's like why was that even necessary? Maybe that's the reason why he only responds to that song because
later on they're saying, like, I think it was Dustin Diamond or somebody said something about playing or like some other kid or something said something about playing like Motley Crue and stuff like that, and he didn't know that music. So
but he learned it because that's one of his powers. So it doesn't make any sense why they even needed to make that point other than just trying to make interesting and cool.
Trying to explain why we're just listening to like 50s and 60s music here.
That's the thing too, is like this band becomes like super popular local band and they're playing like weekly gigs at like a fancy hotel. Like what?
It's like, all of a sudden they're the Jonas Brothers or something, and I don't understand what's going on, so it's like, but
it is like,
yeah, they're bigger than Chapel Ronan or whatever her name is.
I don't see that. I mean, like I've listened to it. The songs are okay. They're not bad. But like the way people are treating her is that like this is like the greatest album of all time. I'm like, it sounds to me like watered down for. Maybe I'm being the old guy.
Well, see, the thing is like I've not noticed people treating it like that. I've just noticed people mentioning her. And she's popular. So the thing is like it'll be somebody new in a month or two. I'm sure. They're still planning this concert, but Purple's been kidnapped, and he ends up escaping, and you get this whole random like car chase, and where Noodle's running on a car with a flat tire because Purple used his horn to noodle Noodle's car, and Yep, and so we get the whole like, oh no, is he gonna make it and everything, and then we learn like before he even makes it, Billy's there because he's there and everybody else is there, but Purple's still not there. But Purple ends up riding there on a horse and then eventually in a car, and with the cops' help and stuff, and they're your good old typical kids chase scenes.
You're being nice. He's being a nice cop. He's like,
and
I mean, I'm grateful for looking different than him, so that was nice. Yeah. But
I love how the cops at one point are just like, "Can you drive?" They don't ask for a driver's license or anything.
They're like they're so like libertarian about it. They're like, yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, who cares? Like, whatever, It's like this town. I love in these movies where the town itself feels like they're very like maladjusted to like world. Like we get like with Game where like the whole town conspires against Pete to do nice things to him as he's doing terrible things. It like literally makes him go insane because of it. But this is them, quote, doing a favor to him. It's like by making his mind unravel.
Yeah, and so
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So then basically we have the whole like Billy ends up giving like a big like Abraham Lincoln style speech at the thing, and the early Barack Obama speech. Something, I'm just saying, like, it's very eloquent. And we also have to mention that when they do sing, they have Neil Patrick Harris lip syncing to somebody that's probably like 15 years older than him.
I know, he sounds like a full man. Like, what the hell, dude?
You couldn't find a kid for him to lip sync or have him sing himself.
No, it's likely.
While they're doing this, when he's doing the speech, Mayor Little Richard does a whole little like speech with the whole like city council is right there too at the concert, and they bring forth like a whatever it is, like what do they call it? Bring forth a resolution or something, an emotion to have this whole like make it so you can't kick the seniors out of the place and everything. So they didn't even need to really raise this money or anything. So
the whole thing was pointless.
Yeah. So Purple comes back and he's just like, you did it yourself there, Billy, or whatever. And then, Purple goes away and everything's happy.
Yeah. What happens to Purple after this? Does he just leave?
I'm assuming he says his job was done, so I think he went back home.
What job, though? That's the thing.
I think his job was to give Billy confidence to lead his own life and stuff. I don't know.
Like, the other stuff happened after Purple came into this world. So that's like with Kory the alien Capricorn who lives on the planet Zara, whatever it is. His mission, ostensibly, was to come to Earth and to teach kids about being street smart, like don't talk to strangers, go to get our. And he was terrible at his job because the Earthlings are better than he was. But
anybody that's listened to our podcast knows this. Yeah.
So sorry, we reviewed the two of our three of them, and so that was what he was sent here to do. So if he just shows up on Earth and he's just hanging around for no reason, and he's like, oh man, like these kids need to like learn street smart. I'm like, that's not a mission then. Like you just showed up and then the mission came to you. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
That bothers me. That bothers me when movies do that, because it's like what is the purpose for why you came here in the first place?
Yeah, there's something lacking in the writing here that Linda Shayne did. I mean, no offense to her. If she's listening, you're awesome. Want to be on the show, let us know. But still, yeah. There's just something, kind of lacking. Like there seems to be like there should have been a little bit more clear objectives here for Purple. But it was still a cute movie. It wasn't too bad. But yeah. So any other thoughts about it?
No, not really.
Yeah. It's like just some little facts here. Dustin Diamond was 11 when they filmed this, and Neil Patrick Harris was 15.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Wow. He looks like he's like 10.
I know. And but he's playing 12. Yeah. So and this is Thora Birch's feature film debut. People may know her from American Beauty and Ghost World, among other things. If you want to, if you want to listen to a review that I did on the Movie Smash podcast of Ghost World, be sure to check that out. There'll be a link in the show notes for that. With our friends from Movie Smash who have been on our show recently. So, check that out. I don't know. It's hard to say anything else about this great film.
Yep.
So just, folks, if you could do us a big favor, go to all2reeltoo.com, check out all of our links on there to our Patreon, our TeePublic, different ways to help support the show. Share the show with all your friends. Be sure to subscribe here wherever you're listening. We're on all of the places. Subscribe everywhere if you want. Go subscribe on Apple, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe on iHeart, wherever. We're everywhere.
Whoa. Yeah.
We're behind you right now. Don't turn around.
Well,
wait.
No.
Don't turn around. Oh, sorry.
I don't know why, but that reminded me of the time you fucking scared me so bad. I was reading a book or something, and I don't know something, and you walked in, and you put your finger to my head and says, "Don't turn around, or I'm gonna shoot you," or something like that. I was like, "Holy fucking shit!" But I knew it was you for some reason. As soon as I don't know what it was, but
then you're worried. Then you're worried. Like, what? Did Mike totally go crazy? He's gonna kill me.
Just changed, and it was like I thought it was hilarious stuff.
I became friends with you. I became friends with you for years just so I could one day kill you. Exactly.
It's like a really long game.
Long con. be sure to like let people know about our show, or maybe I will kill you. And I'm just joking. No, I won't. I don't want to even joke about that. But yeah, do it up. Check out all of our social media and everything. Share the show on social media with your friends. Call up an elderly person who's, kind of sad, and just tell them about the show and have them listen. Maybe it'll cheer them up.
But don't just randomly introduce them to a purple alien without kind of telling them beforehand what's going to happen.
Tell them about the podcast beforehand too, because it might be the same kind of reaction, I think, if you just introduce it to them randomly.
Probably.
And just remember, folks, that Purple didn't eat any people.
He ate a lot of food.
Yeah, he did eat a lot of food. Sesame loves you. Trans life are human lives. Free Palestine, and until next time,
bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Haas. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.